Sounders goalkeeper Stephen Fry, defender Chad Marshall, and other veterans were furious about a late goal allowed in an otherwise solid blowout of Houston last Monday. And they left coach Brian Schmetzer and some teammates hear all about it as they gear for their final stretch of games. Winning angry is apparently the latest thing the Sounders are dabbling in as they attempt to run the table at season's end and maximize their playoff positioning. Sounders goalkeeper Stephen Fry and other veteran players, Chad Marshall among them, weren't happy Monday with merely blowing out the Houston Dynamo. They were downright furious at giving up an 87th-minute goal that cost them a shutout in the 4-1 win and let their coach and plenty of others know it as they raged off the field. By Friday, Fry had cooled off considerably, bolstered by a couple of rest days courtesy of the international break, yet he made a point of repeating that he wasn't pleased about the game's ending. Sounders had substituted youngsters Handwalla Bwana, Alex Roldan and Henry Wingo into the game within a 10-minute span fairly late, wanting to keep the team fresh for 2 games in 4 days next week, and the Dynamo were able to freewheel over multiple stretches before an uncovered DeMarcus Beasley scored. "I think we were a little ticked off by the fact that we got scored on at the end," Fry said. "I know I was. And I think that's good. We want to strive for perfection." Fry is accurate about his Sounders needing to be perfect the rest of the way if they want a shot at a first-round playoff bye or at least a home game. With 3 matches to go, a win Wednesday at Orlando City clinches a 10th consecutive playoff appearance by the Sounders, while a loss or tie by the LA Galaxy and Vancouver the rest of the way does the same. But with only 3 points separating the 5th-place Sounders from number 2 Sporting Kansas City in the Western Conference heading into Friday, there's more up for grabs. And winning out against an Orlando side in disarray, the same Dynamo squad they just throttled in a San Jose team with Major League Soccer's worst record guarantees them finishing no lower than 4th and an opening knockout round home date. Still, merely beating up on MLS dregs risks inflating the team's sense of how good they really are. Hence, the quest for perfection in players letting Schmetzer know post-game that a flurry of late-game substitutions could have been handled better. "You can't be satisfied," Fry said. "It's a game that you have to see out with a shutout because we know that can be the difference in the playoffs, right?" Indeed, the Sounders a year ago rode a record shutout streak through their final 6 regular season games and 4 playoff contests to reach a second consecutive MLS Cup final. 2 years ago, they allowed only 3 goals in 6 postseason games and won their first and only championship. Fry said he and some others shared their late-game frustrations with younger teammates in a nuanced way, so it didn't ruin the mood following an otherwise strong performance. Schmetzer noted to reporters after Monday's contest that his players were upset and took full responsibility for how the late subs were handled. "We were talking about getting these guys ready for Orlando and getting them some minutes, getting them a feel for the game," Schmetzer said. "But the integrity of this game, when you make the 3 subs with the 3 young guys, it took a little bit out of it. That's a decision we made on the bench and it cost us in that one moment." Schmetzer said he could have done a better job of preparing his younger players mentally and tactically before sending them on so closely together. He termed the Houston goal soft, and said it was due to players being out of position. "Steph deserves better than that," he said of Fry. "We want to make sure that he continues to have a statistically good season. We want to take pride in our defending and make sure that we don't give up soft goals. So, yeah, absolutely. There was some frustration there among some of the senior guys." Fry is a front-runner for MLS Goalkeeper of the Year honors, and stats will play a huge part in that. His 30 goals allowed are tied for the fewest by any keeper, and he's on track to become the 5th netminder in MLS history to finish with 100 saves, a 1.00 goals against average and a 75% save percentage. Fry said his main concern is that the Sounders don't get sloppy down the stretch. "It's an overall team mentality that we maybe just let it slip away from us a little bit and let them play," Fry said of the shutout snapping Houston goal. Fry insisted he wasn't pointing a finger only at young players, noting that B1 had made some nice attacking moves to assist on a Victor Rodriguez goal right after coming on. He added that all players, himself included, have to make sure they're on the same page with the right mindset going forward. Being content is dangerous, he added. It has been for this streaky team before. So, for the time being, they'll try to keep winning angry and hope it pays off.